Folks, buried deep inside the House reconciliation bill is a 10-year ban preventing states from defending themselves from uses and abuses of artificial intelligence by the federal Leviathan. If this provision makes it into the final bill, critics say it's a clear attack on state sovereignty. Joining me now is West Virginia Attorney General Jamie McCuskey. It's good to see you, Mr. Attorney General. A group of AGs from various states have come together to denounce this provision, demanding the U.S. Senate remove it. What's your take on a federal government tying the hands of your state, saying you can't regulate artificial intelligence and any abuses the federal government wants to unleash onto your state?
So I think from West Virginia's standpoint, and I think from a lot of the energy-producing states, what we see AI is the next great frontier on American energy production. And the amount of coal and gas that we're going to need to burn to make the electricity that's going to make America the leader in AI is going to change our economies forever. And so there is a really interesting question here, and that is, do we want to have a unified national policy on AI for the next 10 years, which I think when you look at it, putting a moratorium on when it ends, I think is pretty smart, because there are so many issues that we have to make sure that we are unified on to maximize this opportunity. Allowing there to be a cacophony of 50 states having their own sort of regulations is going to make it very difficult, I think, in the short term for us to maximize this. So what I'm really looking for is for the Senate to look at this smartly and to say there's a balance that we have to find here, which is how do we maximize the opportunity for AI, which both means energy production, but it also means national security. We cannot allow China and Russia to beat us to the punch on AI. It's absolutely the next frontier. But at the same time, we have to ensure that states are given an opportunity at some point to find the parts of this revolution that are specific to their value sets. And I think the Senate will look at that, and my hope is that we find a compromise here that enables all of our huge AI companies to have a level playing field, but also gives our states the ability to say, you know, we don't think AI should be used for this, and we believe that the value set of the people of West Virginia should be sort of tuned against these parts of the AI revolution.
Yeah, and well, the concern is, of course, is the Patriot Act. Folks who supported the Patriot Act may have trusted George W. Bush with those powers, but as soon as Barack Obama got a hold of it, he unleashed the federal government as against our people and against the states. So again, I guess the question is, should states remain defenseless against the federal government, or should they maintain the ability to defend their people, and people like you who are closer to the people in your state reserve that right to defend the people who voted for you?
Well, I think you just beautifully outlined the question, right? And I think the answer has to be somewhere in the middle. And I hate to be that way, but at this point, AI is really in its infancy. And what you don't want is states like California, New York, and Vermont, Massachusetts, the really large left-leaning states who are going to have a disproportionate amount of AI influence already, making decisions for the rest of the country. And so that's the other side of allowing a state-by-state sort of regulatory environment, is that the really big states are able to overpower the smaller states like West Virginia. And if the federal government were to come in and say, we want you to produce AI, but we don't want you to use carbon fuels, that would be a disaster for West Virginia. So I'm really hopeful, and I'm looking forward to the Senate coming up with a great answer to this.